Lifting family, welcome back. This video we are going to focus on my current training protocol. I'm going to basically go over day one of my training. I train 5 days per week, and diving into this, the start of my day generally starts off with some form of lower body exercise. So Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday I will do some form of lower body work in terms of a squat or a squat complementary exercise. So Monday usually ends up being a landmine squat or a reverse lunge. I normally that's kind of how I start to get warmed up. I don't really do a lot of cardio, so this is kind of my way of doing that, but it's also a way of getting in some volume work for my legs. I only have one specific leg day per week, which would happen on Wednesday, and that's mostly a deadlift specific day, just because I'm doing my squatting and squat variations on these other days of the week. That helps me get in a little bit of volume each day. I'm dealing and continuing to deal with a nagging hip issue, but that's also part of why I want to do this video, is just so that you can see that I am still training, but at the same time I'm needing to make sure that things are specifically helping out and allowing me to progress with my injuries. And then I will move into mostly like a giant set approach for the next exercises until I'm done with my workout. So that'll be a chest exercise, a back exercise, and then some form of a core focused exercise. And it might also be some form of squatting just without weight, to where I'm getting a little bit more of my glutes involved, just because those are things that glutes tend to get muted and they tend to be underworked, especially if you've noticed maybe you've got a lot of like a knee valgus issue where your knee starts to cave a lot. Your glutes might not be firing properly. Having ways where you actually get the glutes to fire and activate before you start working out, or specifically before your leg days, can generally help you feel those muscles and get those muscles working during the exercise like they're supposed to. Having said that, I normally do some form of chest, some form of back, and then again that core variation. So lately my chest training has been working through a shoulder issue, so I've done an approach with chest to where I'm creating some instability. So that's where I'm adding some bands with some suspended weights to them. I'm having to kind of control that weight a good bit. I'm making sure that I control both the eccentric portion and the concentric portion, just to make sure that it's entirely controlled. And then I'm also getting full extension. A lot of times as I'm going through reps, I tend to kind of speed through those reps. So this is allowing me to make sure that I slow things down, because as the weights are coming up, those bands are going to be bouncing with that weight. So I don't want too much weight suspended from them. I usually suspend a 10-pound plate from each side, and I normally do that with a little cinch style setup, to where the band is double looped around and then cinched over the plate and then hung from the barbell. That allows enough weight for the bands to actually create a little bit of a bounce, but not too much to where that band is actually just kind of dragging and really dropping and pulling too much. So this has worked out really well for me. And then I'm complementing that with a dumbbell seal row. So I'm trying not to get too much forward extension, to where I am basically hinging forward and then allowing my lower back and my glutes and hips to take on more of an isometric, isostatic sort of a contraction, to where I'm having to hold and brace, because I'm not really able to overload my back, and that's a lot of work that is starting to become too much on my hips and on my lower back, to where I'm still again trying to not get an overuse injury on top of the issue that's already occurring. So after moving through that, and then again that complementary exercise, so again a plank or something similar, I then move on to the next grouping of exercises, which I've been interested in Strongman, and I don't know why that is, but it's just something that's interested me lately. So I've got a axle bar, and I will complement that incline axle bar press with a lean back pull down. This is an intentional lean back, not something that you normally see in a gym where a guy's just yanking backwards and really trying to pull that bar down to their chest. Again, I'm trying to not have too much strain on my lower back and on my hips, so I'm not creating a forward hinge or I'm not creating too much of a hinge at the hips. I'm able to stay in that position and then pull the bar down on my chest, or whichever version of the pull down that I'm doing. And then again, complementing that with a plank or a crunch or something that works my core. I don't really do a lot of direct cardio, so this would be the way that I would get some cardio in. And from there, I will finish up with some form of light body weight type work or something similar to that. So it might be some push-ups and then some TRX rows, and then again another core exercise that would round that off. I will do that for a couple sets, and basically those are just more like burnout sets to get in some volume, but not to overload the muscle too much. So again, it's just kind of finishing off the muscle. I like a lot of volume. That might not be advisable for most people or some people, but it's what works for me. It's what I enjoy, and that's what keeps me motivated. So that's how I go about my training approach. So I just wanted to cover the training bases, and just to show that I am still training, I am still lifting. It's just nothing that I would deem impressive. So that's part of why this is just mostly a, hey, let's catch up and see what I'm doing lately in terms of training. Thanks for watching. Thank you for your support. Remember to click that like button, smash that thumbs up, turn on notifications. Please remember to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep pushing.